Carolina, a 12-month-old little girl, Leaona Wright, disappears. Tonight, we join family and law enforcement in the search for baby Leaona.
Where is baby Leaona?
A search at the Pendleton transfer station came up short with no sign of the baby girl.
We're still following leads, still interviewing some folks and trying to come up with a conclusion with this.
Sheriff Skipper says they received information that there were several people out and about at the apartments the night Leaona went missing.
Where is the baby? Joining me, two special guests. Sheriff John Skipper joining us, the Anderson County Sheriff. Also with me, Joey Hudson, a host WGTK. First to you, Joey, what happened?
Well, Nancy, all we know is that the search resumed for a third day today for young Leaona Wright. It all started Saturday morning when 1-year-old Leaona Wright's mother and boyfriend, according to the incident report, woke up and realized the child was not in their home, and they found the front door open.
Oh, wait. Joey.
Yep.
So they wake up, and the baby's gone, and the front door is open, but Leaona is only 1 year old. She's 2 feet tall, 29 pounds, last seen wearing a white sleep shirt. So that says to me, if she sleeps in the crib, this baby, just 29 pounds, has to get out of her crib at 1 year old. My children were walking at 1, Joey. Okay, so I'm having a hard time getting this in my head. Get out of her crib, down from her crib, leave her bedroom, I assume she's got a room, and walks through the rest of the home to the front door, turns the front door, undoes all the locks, and walks out and leaves the door open. Now, I'm not saying at 2 years old or 3 years old she can't do that, but at 1 year old, did they immediately call police, Joey?
Well, Nancy, that is the big question. They're speculating that young Leona's older sister, only 3 years old herself, may have opened the front door and let the toddler out. But you're right, the big question is, how did a 1-year-old crawl so far away that she can't be found?
Interesting. I want to go to Sheriff John Skipper, also with me, Mark Glass. Sheriff Skipper, thank you for being with us.
Sure, thank you for having me.
I'm trying to understand, first of all, starting at A, the first square. When the baby goes missing, where does the mom and the boyfriend say they were? Were they asleep and they didn't hear anything?
Yeah, that's correct. They're reporting that they were asleep early in the morning when they woke up at the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour. The front door was open, the 3-year-old was up, and the 1-year-old was missing.
Sheriff, which was it? Was it 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock that you believe they say they realize the baby is gone? 8 or 9?
Well, I think it's going on closer to 9. I don't have the exact time here in front of me.
Because I'm telling you, at 9 o'clock at my house, we've all been up for about 5 hours. All right?
Well, I understand
so
that.
At 9 o'clock with a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, are you kidding me? You know, it's like a 3-ring circus by 9 o'clock in the morning. So I got a problem right there with that. That at 9 o'clock, they just get up and notice the baby's gone. Was the baby walking, Sheriff Skipper?
I understand that if it was doing any kind of walking, it was not very good, so it was probably still in the crawling stage. And you're correct.
Sure.
We have a concern with that issue.
Because, you know, maybe my children were just slow because they didn't have to walk because Mommy carried them everywhere. But that doesn't sound right to me, even if the 3-year-old opened the door. And a 3-year-old can communicate, Sheriff Skipper. The 3-year-old can say, I opened the door, and the baby crawled out.
And we've had some forensic interviews with that 3-year-old. She is not I don't want to describe her, completely, but she is comprehensive, but she's not probably the level of a 3-year-old right now.
So
but
she may not be verbally. Okay, she may not be. Some children start talking and walking late. I mean, mine did. So I get it. So the 3-year-old is not really communicating well. All right, let's get back to what happened. 9 a.m., they wake up, and they notice the baby's gone. But listen to this 911, Joey Hudson, as Sheriff Skipper. Listen to this.
What's the location of your emergency? Cherry Road, Edgewood Square in Pendleton, South Carolina?
Sheriff Skipper, that's not the mom, is it? Is that
No,
that's not the mom?
neighbor. At that time, the mom was fairly hysterical. The boyfriend was supposed to be outside, kind of running around, and they asked that neighbor to make that call.
All right. So the neighbor makes a call. Joey Hudson, host WGTK, with me along with Sheriff John Skipper, the elected sheriff there. Joey, so the neighbor makes the 911 call. Who can place the baby alive prior to that morning, Joey Hudson? Do we know?
Well, that's the big question. We don't know for sure, other than I would assume that the mother knows that the baby was put to bed the prior evening. But that is, there are a lot of questions here yet to be answered, and we don't know, other than the fact that at some point that morning they claimed she was not in her bed.
Okay.
And they woke up.
Gotcha. Sheriff John Skipper, who can tell me the baby was alive and seen the night before? Who put the baby to bed?
Right, we were the boyfriend. The mom was at a bachelorette party for her sister, who was getting married the next day, and she came home at about the 5 o'clock hour.
Whoa. Okay, 5 o'clock. Now,
the boyfriend.
nothing good happens after midnight, Sheriff. You know that, right? Nothing good. Nothing
I
good.
understand, but,
Did she look at the
parties
baby?
are what they are.
Did she look at the baby? Did she check on the
did-
baby when she came home?
She did not at that moment in time. The boyfriend, the baby was asleep at that moment. And
How do
you're
we know
right.
that?
We
How do I know the baby's asleep at 5 o'clock, Sheriff? Nobody looked at the baby. Does the baby have a window in its room?
It does, but it's closed.
It's closed and it cannot be opened from the
I
outside.
don't think so.
Does the baby share the room with anyone?
With the 3-year-old sister.
Did the baby sister sleep through the night? Can she articulate if anyone came into the room?
That's why we had the forensic interview, and,
Gotcha.
and I don't want to go into that.
Any blood found at the scene?
No.
Huh. And no indication anything was taken with the baby. All the toys and clothes are still there, correct?
That's my understanding. Yes.
Okay. So you didn't see any forced entry on that window in the baby's room, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. There's no sign that any baby's toys, clothing, diapers, stuff like that have been thrown away in a dumpster.
Right.
All right. So you really believe the exit was through the front door if, in fact, the child left. You don't think it was taken out the window?
I don't at this time. No.
Okay. Something's not fitting for me. Something is not. Do we know? You're telling me the boyfriend put the baby to bed?
Yes.
Okay. Mark Class, founder Class Kids Foundation, with me, Joey Hudson, and special guest Sheriff John Skipper. Weigh in, Mark Class.
Well, something stinks here because even if a little baby was able to get outside the front door, a search dog would easily be able to track that baby to its location, which would be very near the house. A 1-year-old is not going to get very far, but yet there's no sign of the baby, so that scenario doesn't work.
But you know the other thing, Mark Class, let me see Mark, please. Mark, I will never forget on our kitchen door, I had it tricked out the yin-yang like every other door there is. And I saw with my own 2 eyes, John David, like a monkey, crawl up beside it, go up some stairs, and go all the way to the top lock. He was 2, and get all the locks and get out the door to the laundry room. I saw it. I would not have believed it if I didn't see it myself. But this child can barely walk.
Sure. And this child is not going to be able to get very far on its own volition. You would be able to track this child's scent.